Are we live? I think so. Let me take a sip of Diet Coke first. Also, should probably adjust this camera. I just realized. Omega Maddie, how's it going? Power to 99, how's it going? We're back again for a second day in a row stream. I did not plan on this. I just kind of felt like it. And it went so well last time, I realized I was like, okay, I guess I just talk about video games today. But, you know, if, now that just does that. That's annoying. Move in the chat. Yeah, I didn't really plan on doing a second day stream. DJ Hawk, how's it going? But I realized I have like 7 more videos of the Teams Redone verse I could probably talk about with you guys as I do some adjustments to teams for all this. Slime BFF, how's it going? My dog is currently putting her head. Meowth Games, how's it going? Starting to write my What If series. What if Ash left Orange Islands? Left after Orange Islands. Nice. Nice. Nick, how's it going? A lot of how's it going is going to be going on. I watched the VOD from yesterday and thought it was really good. Thanks. Yeah, no, first time streaming in a while. I mean, I used to stream and I only got 3 views. The only reason I'm streaming again is hey, you know, it's fun. It's something to do during the day. This is an optimal time. And also, I'm not really a guy where I can like be like, oh, here's the set stream time, because, you know, my work schedule fluctuates so much. So I just kind of stream when I can. I think Brock should keep Vulpix, should evolve during Sinnoh's show. Brock wants to become a doctor. Yeah, no, the video, I'm going to be keeping a lot of plot points. So the main thing with the companions today, Cordell Stevens, how's it going? So the main thing we're doing today is, if you watch the companions video, which I'm assuming if you guys are all watching me, you have, not to toot my own horn, but I mean, I'd be pretty shocked if someone was watching my stream and hadn't seen any of my videos. But if you've seen that video, you know I gave everybody teams of 6. And for that, like, you know, that was for the sake of the video. It wasn't really because in the series, I was like, oh, cool, let's do a full team of 6 for every person. Some people, they need it, some people, they don't. But not everyone. Like, Brock does not need him a full team of 6. Ugh. So I'm drinking a Diet Coke. Making Pokemon area, although Ash is going to catch 30 Rhyhorn and 1 will up. Oh, that's pretty cool. Gasform 7, how's it going? I'm drinking a Diet, or I'm not even drinking a Diet Coke, it's a Coke. Watch all your videos multiple times. Thank you, Omega Matty. Yeah, no, I'm really proud of them. They're 7 things. It's a no, I'm happy how they turned out. The Teams Redone verse is something near and dear to my heart, just because I like that I was able to make it as different as it is, which is definitely going to help me when I go over the Ash teams, his final teams for this. That's going to really inform my decision if I'm using the Pokemon correctly, because while maybe a certain Pokemon might not fit, it's different enough that, like, the goal is to use personality to make them fit. Like, Roserade does not fit Ash at all, but giving it a certain personality does. Also, we hit over 3,000 subscribers yesterday. I was really happy about that. Starstruck Nuhime, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Your Ash Teams Redone phone. Hell yeah, always happy to hear that. I'm a big consumer of the fan fiction. I like to write my own, not my own, I guess you could technically call it fan fiction, but it's more of a writing exercise where I, you know, like, I'm just like writing out summary story idea of, like, you know, if I could write a Pokemon story, what would it be like? So far I've done stuff for, I got the bare bones for Kanto and Unova, but Johto, Sinnoh, and Hoenn are where it's at for me. Brock could have a Magnemite that has the same bond as Bayleaf did Ash, and he shocks Brock and he likes another girl, foreshadowing Krogunk. Possibly, James Banta. So I'm just giving it a minute to let people come in, because we just started. But yeah. How have you guys been today? I have what have I been doing? I've not been doing a lot. I've been doing a lot of reading today. I skipped the gym. because I woke up. I wake up at like 4:50 in the morning to go to the gym, which sounds like hell, but it's great now. And for once in my life, I actually skipped this morning just because I was so wiped. But back to the old grindstone tomorrow. I have 30 rounds, so one can evolve and keep game run over. Maybe. I was never too much of a fan of the 30 Tauros. I think it's a fun gag, but it's one I'm not particularly, feel the need to have. I like keeping Ash's teams relatively small. I don't imagine seeing in this Ash Teams Redone verse, I don't imagine too many multiple, more than the teams he has. So 5 per region. I don't imagine him catching more, if only because there's so few full battles that Ash goes through that I don't think he needs to have that many on hand. And by the time the Johto League starts, he'll have Kanto and Johto teams. So that's 10 Pokemon, 11 Pokemon. Hell yeah, Moon is our box. I've been mulling over writing thing I'm doing, but overall my day has been fine. If I could give one writing tip to any aspiring writers out there, I am not a professional writer by any means, but I am an asshole who likes to go over story and characters of certain movies and shows, which makes me a terrible person to watch stuff with. If you're ever writing in Google Docs, write in Comic Sans. It makes life so much easier. Seems so dumb, but writing in Comic Sans makes my life so much easier because it's just such a fun it's such a fun font that Times New Roman always feels, or Arial feels too official, but Comic Sans I feel like I could write anything. It doesn't matter. Everything else feels like it's kind of on the page. Started the Suicide Squad Isekai. It's not horrible. I've heard some decent things about it. I haven't looked too far into it. I like superheroes. There are certain shows that I kind of gave up on. I haven't been too in love with anything that DC or Marvel has been putting out lately. I know I don't think this is technically DC. I mean, it's an anime, so I'm not sure who's officially putting the Suicide Squad anime. I've never been too crazy about the Suicide Squad as it is. I think it's just a little bit of on my end, a little bit of just burnout on them. The yeah. Also never been really much of a Harley Quinn fan, but I think that's a little bit of burnout on her. Because sometimes I liked her in the original Batman the animated series where she debuted. But I over time I feel like she's become kind of a female Deadpool type character, and I like Deadpool well enough, but too much Deadpool and I get a little burnt. Love Ryan Reynolds, love Deadpool, but too much of fourth wall can kill me. All right, called Twins in Comic Science is a mix of between classroom and elite. And ooh, nice. All right, so let's get into the teams here. So. Dog is really making this hard. She's on my arm, my wrist rest for my keyboard. So for Brock's original team, he had Onyx, Geodude, Vulpix, and Zubat. If I'm being Girl Blitz, how's it going? Welcome back to another stream. We're just going over Brock's Kanto team. Brock is not a person I want to give too many Pokemon. Yeah, he doesn't have too many in the anime, so I don't really need to be worried. Go's team, ideally see, has been focused on him catching instead of, yeah. All right, so obviously Zubat's out. So these core 3 have to stay. This is everyone else other than Ash, I don't really care changing their Pokemon teams up too much, minus the main girls. Zubat wasn't going to make the cut anyways. I'm just doing that. So Kangaskhan, I don't think we need. I don't think is absolutely necessary. Not the Brock shade. Yeah, Mark, go back to work. I know you're at your job now. I'm thinking instead of giving Prime, it should go to Brock instead of Charmeleon. So Brock is gonna have 4 Pokemon total, and that's only because I just you know, like I don't want to give them all too many Pokemon. Geodude doesn't really need to matter much. It's just kind of there because it's on his gym team. Onix is his main Pokemon. Charmeleon I gave just to throw it somewhere, but because I have Richie Rep and Charizard, I don't need Charmeleon, and you know, it's another dig at Charizard, so that's always funny. Unintentionally, but yeah. Geodude should evolve into at least Graveler. No, I'm on a 1 heart call that I've already said my piece is, so you're stuck with me. Ha, nice. I'll consider a little bit of Graveler evolution. I don't know if it will, like, there's any point in the story where I feel like Graveler or Geodude will evolve into Graveler, but I'm not against it. It isn't interesting. I've never really thought about Geodude evolving at all, so it's always just kind of been there. Okay, so I will say one thing. In any of my writings for this, trade evolution will not be a thing, because in the world of Pokemon, I logically think it makes absolutely no sense in the anime. I understand how in a show, or like how in the games, why trade evolution is a thing, but in an anime, I realistically could not understand how it works. And, you know, before anyone comes up with a convoluted reason, we've seen Golem in the wild. So how does a Golem form in the wild if there's not a trainer to trade it? Yeah, just on messages. Sorry, someone just posted a really good idea somewhere. Trade evolutions don't make sense to me in my mind because it's always like I can understand trading in the sense of Pokemon, like, but it really does not make sense as a concept. Like, I think, like, even then, when you have Pokemon that evolve through items like Magmortar or Electivire, I think that them evolving, there's in the lore of Pokemon, there's most likely natural ways those Pokemon achieve those forms, and the Magmarizer and the Electorizer, whatever it's called, the item to evolve Electivire, like, those are just human-made substitutes that simulate whatever conditions is needed to evolve them. That's how I view a lot of things like that. I feel like a toy. He didn't want any play with anymore. Honestly, I've been puzzled too. Steelix, Broxville should no dig since 3 of... Yeah. Oh, that's... You know, I like that. Because I'm always a big fan of, if you're going to have a Pokemon that doesn't fit your type, they should be able to learn the moves of your type, if you're a specialist. There's certain Pokemon, like, when I was creating a specialist team for Bug or something, there's certain Pokemon I included on it, like, I included Gliscor and I included Kabutops because they're Bug-like Pokemon. And I included Flygon because it's in the Bug Egg group, you know, stuff like that. Goes for a bath in active volcano and comes out with cannons. That was actually, I mean, that's kind of how I always viewed it, is that a Magmar basically has to, like, cocoon itself in a volcano, or like sit in the heart of a volcano for a certain period of time and absorb power, and then it evolves it. And then Electabuzz gets struck by a lightning bolt, you know, like a powerful one, and like a lightning storm, and that's how it evolves. You know, anyone that just evolves through simply trading, other than like trading another Pokemon, like if like a Shelmet and an Shelmet and a Carablast need to each other to evolve, it's just they need to be in contact with each other. That's how they evolve, not like trading. Buizel and Napalm. Yeah, and even then, it's like that's nothing to do with evolution gas form. You know, it's like that's just trade. Like, I'm not against trading in Pokemon in general, in like the sense of a world where it's like, oh, 2 trainers trade Pokemon, you know, because like they don't fit each other, or they're like, hey, you would do better with my Pokemon, I'll do better with yours. That makes sense in the world. The evolutions it induces are strange to me. Maybe it's abandonment issues. I think oh yeah, Vulpix learns dig. So a lot of what we're doing here with these companion teams, by the way, is I feel like I have a pretty good roster for what they have. We're just kind of refining them down. And if we have time, or like if we go through this very quickly, we'll move on to like rivals or something, you know, depending on how long we go. I usually try and scale these probably for like 2 hours, maybe. I'm not, you know, I'm not a 5-hour streamer. I got stuff in my day. Can learn plenty of rock, like right. Yeah, Deshaun, but I threw Charmeleon to fill a slot. But in terms of like a story, I'm not like, I think a Cubone, the idea of Cubone who travels with Brock continually and serves as his technical first baby Pokemon before baby Pokemon are a thing. I like that more than just rescuing Charmander, you know? So we got that. So Misty. There's a Nate Wants to Battle song, or what? I'm not sure if that's still his YouTube channel. I feel like Frank can go like 30 plus hours doing Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Never. Can't do it. And today we're just focusing on Sun companions, guys. So if you have things for Ash or whatever, you know, I'm gonna gloss over those for now because we talked about Ash yesterday. So I think she definitely keeps Skarmy. Gyarados is going to be her story. Okay, and also I want to clarify something because I got a comment about this. I don't think anyone else took it this way. I don't know why this person did. Like, just wow, way to over exaggerate. I talked about Misty being a jerk to Magikarp. She's like a jerk to, like, and that's, you know, and she has to make up for it because she thinks it's useless, which she's not wrong. It is completely useless. It pops out and does nothing and can just splash around. It's kind of hard to be like, Magikarp, you're so great when you're nothing, you know, and she has to learn to be like, oh man, I should have been nicer to it. Like, but she's not like abusive towards Magikarp. She just says a few mean no more than she would say to Psyduck or something, you know? So just want to clarify that. She's going to be a jerk to Magikarp, but it's not like she's not punching the thing in the face because it's so useless, guys. Not that anyone here obviously thought that. Everyone here has brains and understood that well. It was a single commenter that I was just like, you know what, let's just throw this out there. There's a song about how bad it is. Yes, exactly. And it replaces Goldeen because I don't think Misty having a Sea King on her gym leader team is a bad idea. But in terms of the traveling team with Ash, like if you're gonna give her a Gyarados, just give her a Magikarp and give her something to do. So I'm gonna do Star U. She won't be afraid of Gyarados in Chronicles. Well, I think there'll be some fear there, but it's mostly like every time Gyarados comes out, I imagine it goes on like a rampage. And she has to return it, and she's like, it's uncontrollable, and she doesn't know how to figure out it. Her thing is trying to figure out, like how it's, you know, it's like trying to figure out how do I get through the Gyarados? How do I? And it's like, why is Gyarados doing this? Is it just naturally like this? And then she kind of realize, like, oh, this is why Gyarados is so angry. It's not angry because it's a Gyarados. It's an angry because it remembers all the shit I was talking. So could Gyarados be the one swim? Yeah, I mean, Gyarados could be the swimmer. Wrong, NGK. It'll be better than Charizard. Always. I'm an asshole. Hey, every time I see, you know, when someone throws the ball up, I'm just gonna be like, Charizard, you know. When does she get really shouldn't be even left to Chronicles since basically became our main book. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of weird. Also, I like the idea of both of Ash's companions having these long giant ass serpents as their main Pokemon. She catches Poliwag in the Orange Islands, but I can easily see her catching it earlier. And she obviously have Togepi. That is so evaluate 16. Commander Bear, water. Um, but you love Trap more than anything. Shut up, Mark. I'll kill your D&D character in game in Minecraft. Unalive. I haven't streamed it so long. People say unalive in Grap, and I'm like, what are we, 13? Is it like, is my channel gonna explode if I say that? I don't want to give Misty too much Pokemon, guys. So like, she will not have a full team of 6. I'm trying to keep it pretty small. Like, might add one more, and I think then we're good with her. And so it's kind of there. Starts with Starmie, but she has like Staryu, like how ours for possibly. I'm keeping. I don't know if I want to give her Staryu at first and it evolves into Starmie, or she already has Starmie. I can go back and forth on it. No, you'll have to leave much. He has a good story, but you know, God, why do you have the best story? Why do you have my favorite story and our D&D? For clarification, I'm the dungeon master for a D&D game that Mark's in with me. So I run that shit. She doesn't need Lapras. Did you hear about Vaporeon? Haha, funny meme. Dolico and Hoenn. Yeah, no, Togepi's not disappearing. That was the that episode was an acid trip. I don't know what that was. It's never been explained. It's never been touched on. I don't know what that was, but we're gonna say no to that. We're like, I just don't. It makes no sense. I don't see. So okay. So here's the real question: do we give her Squirtle? I know. What's up, Deanne? Do we give her the Squirtle squad? I liked the storyline of it. You know, reforming. Squirtle has like a decent enough story. You know, it fits Misty. It becoming firefighters in Cerulean is pretty cool in my mind. It adds on a 4th Pokemon, gives her something that's not just the emotionless Starmie to mainly fight with. Because she has, or she also has Poliwhirl. You know, I like the idea of Squirtle Squad, if I'm being honest. I don't think it's a bad thing. It helps, you know, giving Misty of all people, like, I think giving Brock Charmeleon's too far. See, I would evolve Squirtle into Wartortle, but I feel like Squirtle's whole gimmick is the Squirtle Squad. So, like, it's kind of like, I think it's a bridge too far. It doesn't really need to evolve because she's going to have enough powerhouses that I feel to, like, you know, that I don't feel like, I mean, Misty doesn't really need to have a fully evolved team. Honestly, Poliwag could probably, Poliwhirl, I don't know if I'll evolve Poliwhirl, until Johto. I'd probably give her Poliwag earlier than the Orange Islands. Or it will be at the Orange Islands. You know, I'm just, it's gonna be, I kind of group Orange Islands and Kanto together because there's really no big difference. But I think this is a squad. Make there when Ash Group meets Squirrel because he has Squirrel too. Maybe. I don't know what I won't reveal what I have plans for Gary. I know what him and Green is are up to and what they'll be doing. But I'm not gonna reveal too many story beats, even though I don't think by the time I post this video, anyone's gonna remember them. Story between similar to giving them slow pokes. I mean that is an interesting idea. The only reason I don't do that is simply because I want Brock and Misty don't need too much focus. Like they need something to do with Ash, but they don't need like so much focus. And adding another Pokemon storyline onto Misty might be a smidge too much. I think the Gyarados story alone is sort of it is enough for her. I like the idea though. I'm glad. Here's the thing. Good. I like seeing these suggestions from you guys because it's just stuff for me to think on. Because none of this is official. I might go back and I save the live streams just so we can kind of go back and see it, like, you know, so I can go back and see certain ideas, see certain responses from you guys. Some of the stuff I might say no to here, I might say yes later as I'm creating the script and all that. So don't feel too discouraged if I'm like, I'm not a fan of this now. Tracy. Okay, I need Tracy. Okay, if I'm being fully honest, I don't think he needs Venonat. I love Venonat. I don't think he needs Venonat. Um. So, I mean, he definitely gets Smeargle. Venonat's actually pretty necessary for Tracy. Reading off why I have the Bulbapedia pulled up on my other monitor, so Swap Meryl, I think those are good. I'm sorry, but I say who? Yeah, exactly. Who? He doesn't really need too many Pokemon. I don't even know what I'm gonna do with Tracy in the story currently. I think old Scyther's pretty chill. Honestly, I'm kind of a fan of it. I think this is a pretty good squad. I don't see too much with Tracy right now because I don't know if I'll do the whole like Brock leaves Ash, you know. I think Meryl and Smeargle serve as good Johto rep. I think these are good for him. I don't really see much. He doesn't really need to have more than this. The only reason I keep Venonat is because it's good for his Pokemon watching, and it throws sleep powders to help cause Pokemon less likely to run. Meryl's good because it's Johto rep. Smeargle's necessary, and Old Scyther's pretty baller. But I think more than 4, and it's a little obnoxious the amount of Pokemon. All right, Johto. Honestly, this companion list might go quick because this, we don't need you. I think Fortress gets to stay. If I'm being honest, I've always been a fan of Fortress. I think Brock catching Pineco was pretty cool. It still fits in his more defensive, Rock and Seal aren't too far apart. So I think this is honestly a solid squad. Brock doesn't need too much to do in... When does he get Bonsly? He gets that in Hoenn, I believe. I'm Googling this now before the chat catches up to what I'm saying. Yeah, Ruby and Sapphire. Because Brock's main thing is he's more focused on evolution. His Onix will evolve into Steelix, which will do that, and Cubone will finally grow up and become Marowak. So it will still be kind of the baby in Johto, but then it's gonna grow up. Now here's the real question: we got the girl Misty over here. Who I might for the first time. Oh, I don't want to take. This is the original companions doc here. You can see all my little notes as I go down here. Because there's one companion here that I really want to fix her team. That I gotta entire rethink. I think I removed Croconaw from Misty. Like, looking at our water types for Johto, I think I like the idea of seeing her with a Chinchou more than I like seeing Croconaw, especially if I know there's going to be more Feraligatr rep. And also because Chinchou is such a unique water type that I can easily see her repping it, you know? I kind of like the idea of Brock getting Corsola from the What If Ash Woke Up on Time series on YouTube. He got a Corsola in that, and I was always a fan of that. But I don't think October really fits Misty. I'm really just trying to take her down to 5. So I think I'm not against her getting another starter. I just think that Chinchou, like it's so unique in its typing this early on that it'd be good. Kingdra would be top tier for Misty. Nothing official yet. I'm still debating. Maybe Croconaw, maybe Horsey / Kingdra, maybe a Horsey Kingdra storyline. I don't know because Misty is gonna really be focused in Johto. Her story is kind of more gonna be like working towards being a water type master. That's gonna be kind of more of her thing. More story, no. Maybe Apakoko or Apako. Jam Pikachu. Both shock in the group. Yeah, maybe. I just like Chinchou because I think it will help solidify. Like, I want to see more Misty trying, like, having some stronger Pokemon on her team isn't a bad thing because she's trying to be stronger. I'm gonna define what it means to be a water type Pokemon master. I'm gonna figure that out, and that's gonna be a focus. But okay, so we got Hoenn, and Hoenn's a weird one. This is what I gave him for Hoenn. I could cut Marowak. So he needs Bonsai, I think. Like, a lot of their companion Pokemon, the original companion Pokemon, are staying. It's just a manner of adjusting for what I like. Like, I like the spin to heartbreak gag, but I don't need it. There's gonna be a lot of Aggron rep in Hoenn, and I don't think Brock necessarily needs an Aeron. Like, Steven's gonna do stuff in the anime, so we're gonna see a lot of Aeron, we're gonna see a lot of Lairon, we're gonna see a lot of Aggron. Like, there will be that. Bonsai is the new baby Pokemon. I like Lombre. I just do. Like, I was never a fan of when he evolved into Ludicolo. But, like, I think he has vibes. I'm not opposed to just taking away Marowak now that his story's over. Like, you could easily come up with something like, oh, Marowak wants to stay at the gym and train with the brother, Yeah, Marowak can stay if the gym leaves for Brock if you want to drop it. That's kind of my thinking. It's like, it's like Marowak's good and I liked it being there, but Ninetales is always going to be sort of the Brock Pokemon in a lot of people's minds of like, it's iconic, and having it evolve here, because I have Marowak to basically evolve through his baby Pokemon, and then I have Ninetales to show sort of his like I think the way I put it in the video was Ninetales supposed to represent his sort of like change towards becoming more of a doctor, and Marowak was his evolution of being a breeder. Lombre, I've always been I'm a big Lombre fan. If I ever like wrote a character with a Ludicolo, I'd make it the coldest motherfucker possible, like the exact opposite of a Ludicolo and just have it be like a serial killer. Not like a literal one, but it has that fucking vibe. Just because I like the idea of it, I think that's really funny. Because I like the Kappa lore that like you can kind of intertwine with that. But Lombre is just kind of a chill thing that kind of does his own thing. Steven does find a Firestone Granite Cave. Yeah, that is a thing. There are ways to get this Firestone. So yeah, I think this is suitable for Brock. I might add 1 or 2 Pokemon. Lombre may or may not make the cut. We'll see on there because Brock's doesn't need too many Pokemon because we're gonna be adding some Pokemon to some people. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I like the deadpan Ludicolo. I like how kind of dry Lombre felt, like kind of like he's Low Tab was always kind of a meme, and I enjoyed that about him. May. I think this team's pretty perfect, if I'm being honest. I don't think there's anything on this team I want to change. I kind of like all the members I gave her. It does not feel too girly, if that makes any sense. I never like giving female trainers just, here's the girl team, you know? Yeah, I definitely, I didn't want to use Altaria, but it really was too perfect not to give it to May. I almost considered Milotic, but Milotic is so overrepresented in the anime that, like, it just felt I didn't need to. And also, I have someone else with Milotic. There's a trainer with Grumpig, so I don't think she needs it. Like, yeah, I think Crowblitz, I think she definitely, Meditite would definitely evolve in Sinnoh for the Wallace Cup. What's up, Jabir? Yeah, it's sort of like think about Lucamine's team. Like, I thought it was a bigger problem than it used to be. Like, I used to think it was pretty prevalent, and then, you know, do that. We're not going to talk about Wally. You know, maybe Wally will be here, maybe he won't. We'll see. You know, I actually don't know if Wally will be in this. We'll see. Okay, so I'm not sure if this would ever happen. I always thought it might be interesting if maybe, and I really like this character. This is why this is kind of on the down low. It's not really something I plan to. It's kind of something I'm thinking on the spot. I always thought maybe it would have been kind of interesting if I replaced Sawyer in Hoenn or in Kalos with Wally. Like, I think they can have a similar vibe. I think the Mega, you know, you could have a Mega Sceptile, but you could also have Mega Gallade there. Like, I think there's a thing there. There could be. I don't know if in my Hoenn, like how Hoenn I have in my head currently. What's up, Lit Man? I don't know with how, like, if you, like, I already have Brendan here, so I don't know if I need Wally too. I think Wally, there might be room for Wally. He just wouldn't be, he'd be like another rival, but he wouldn't be a main rival or something. Or he would be like the secondary rival in the league that Ash beats, you know. He kind of be the Sawyer of this region. But I also don't want to take away from Sawyer. Actually, you know what? Let's well, actually I can just move this down here. Okay, Hoenn. Yeah, exactly. Like, I always felt Sawyer gave me some Wally vibes. Not, well, he didn't really give me Wally vibes, but he's like a short green character from Hoenn. So, I'm just going down this list to see if there's any Pokemon here that, like, I feel like, oh, maybe May. Like, I think the May team I have is pretty solid for what it is without changing it radically, you know? Oh yeah, Drew's gonna be here. Like a lot of. If you're thinking of any characters that I might not include, you're probably looking closer at Ash League rivals than you are anyone else. Like, Tyson's not gonna be in the anime. I'm just gonna be there. He has no point. I don't really need Puss in Boots. Like, I make fun of him in my videos a lot, and I don't need him and Morrison. They're just, they really serve no purpose other than, oh crap, Ash had no rivals, so we got to throw these two jobbers in, you know? Yeah, Short Green and big fan of Clamperl representation anywhere. There's like the episode for Clamperl. I consider maybe a Gorobus for May, but like, I know I said I'm not a big fan of super girly Pokemon for like all my girl teams, but I considered it. I wasn't really, I'm not a fan of giving, like, other than Misty, who it kind of makes sense because she's a water type trainer. I don't like giving Pokemon trainers Pokemon that can only exist in water because it really limits how many times you can truly interact with that Pokemon. Like, it's like, okay, we can only use Gorobus when we're near a body of water of some kind. Tropius would be interesting. What do I have her team currently at? But there's no one I would really cut for Tropius. I really like the meta type pick, and these three are definitely key. Masquerain has to stay because then you get Fusion of Fire Water. Munchlax, I feel like you gotta keep. Give me Corphish. That might be interesting. Corphish is a little too aggressive. So Max, so my plan for Max is Chris Higgins, would I ever do my own storyline of like if I rewrote the anime with no restrictions, or like, you know, like a series, like if I did I've considered doing my own Pokemon series. I think I always thought of that as sort of a later date thing when I have a bigger fan base. But you know, I've kind of considered it. I mean, I wrote out my own story ideas, but a lot of my own story ideas, like if you guys have watched my legendary lore, I very much changed the legend, like what it means to be a legendary. Like in my ideal Pokemon anime world, whatever, legendaries would be uncatchable and you would never, like, they would be gods for the most part. Mythical Pokemon, there are certain legendary Pokemon I would not make legendary, and I have no clue why they're legendary. Like Koraidon and Miraidon, there's no reason those should be legendary. They're just Paradox Pokemon of Cyclizar. Like, they're legendary because they're on the box, but they're not. There's nothing about them that is legendary. I feel like legendary Pokemon should have an intrinsic tie to the world, not just be. I'm like, there's some legendary that can be super strong Pokemon, like the Galarian versions of the birds. I have reasons why they're legendary, you know, but like, there should be a reason why you exist in this world as a legendary Pokemon other than rare one. I know that's probably not, maybe not the most popular view of it, or even the correct one of like, it's like, well, that's not how they're treated. Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos said they were going to destroy the world through their clashing, you know? Like, I don't care if it's just they're rare birds and we see 50 of them. I don't think that should be a thing. Personally, that's just how I do it, you know? I could almost see May with a Whismur. Like, May with a Whismur that evolves into this big boy Exploud. It's sort of my only alternative to Munchlax. But I feel like May's Munchlax is so beloved. I love it. But like May having this cute, like, I'm gonna write it down just for this hell of it. Oh, that's the wrong document. I feel like you can wrap around Solgaleo and Lunala. There's ways to do it. Like, in my legendary lore videos, that's what I hope to achieve, of explaining why certain Pokemon are legendary and what... Like, Urshifu is a Pokemon that is said to be legendary, but I've actually come up with a really good reason why it would be legendary. Lunala and, like, Solgaleo, I think there's story reasons why you could make them legendary. Like, there is a power... For some Pokemon, it is simply a power threshold. Like, I'm trying to think, like the Galarian birds. I think that's a power threshold thing. It's a twisted power threshold. Mewtwo is a great example. Mewtwo is legendary for a power example, for like things. But like, I did think about that, Deshaun, of having her snow round. But that's just an extra slot that I don't want to get rid of. I can see her coming back with one. Get a Mywell in comparison with Ash's Sableye. I really had a brief moment. Got Kieran. I'm gonna just go you Kieran if that's okay. I was like, wait, do I go Cot or do I go Kieran? I did consider the Mawile, but I like giving it to James. If I'm being honest, I really like the James of Mawile. I'm a big Mawile fan, so I got rid of them. I really don't see the point of them. I know they're there for remake representation, but Bulbasaur was useless. Squirtle was a baby. I don't really care for them. I mean, I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love Squirtle and Bulbasaur, but like, first of all, I'm trying to be different with them, and I think there's cooler Pokemon that you can give May or Hoenn rep. And also, Bulbasaur just got pushed to the side the minute they went to the Battle Frontier, so what's the point of it? We're expecting it to stay cute, but it evolves into this big, loud Loudred, and then an explode in Battle Frontier. Possibly. Sweet. I'm on top of this. Max. Yeah, Max. Oh, the most unlikable motherfucker. You know what? If we have to give... The only reason I don't give May Milotic is I have another character who's going to have it, and also it's just very overrepresented in the anime. I think there's other Pokemon I could give May. And even then, yeah, Jabir, like when he evolved, like it's like Venusaur evolved, but he showed up in like a single cutscene still frame, and it's like, all right, cool. She has a Venusaur, that's great. We don't get to see it. Would you allow May to catch him? So, Max having Munchlax would be possible. So I'm gonna write that down as one of the options. So the way I'm doing May or Max, and I'm doing Bonnie, and also, can I just say, if there's one thing we have to give Max credit for, Max had to walk so Bonnie could run. I will have to give Max the credit for that. He was the first child companion. And without him, Bonnie might have been what Max was today. And that's all I say. I like the Munchlax picks for Max. I do actually kind of like it because Max always had this bond with Munchlax. It makes sense. It's a normal type, so it fits with his dad's thing. And because I love your... Thank you, Chris. I really appreciate it. I hope it make it big too. I'll take that monetization. No, I'm not trying to make this a job. This is purely, I just love making videos and creating content. Okay, so here's a fun thing. Well, I'm not a fan of Max and May being the children of Norman because from the manga, I've personally always loved the Ruby Norman dynamic. So I have a little like headcanon. No one might not like it. I kind of like it. It's always fun. So in the game sense where Norman has just Brendan/Ruby as a child, there's this thing about Norman and his family being originally from Olivine City. And you know what's kind of funny to me? Well, there's a monstrous normal type trainer in Johto in Whitney. And I always kind of loved the little headcanon. Like, what if Whitney was Norman's daughter? Like, who became the normal type gym? Like, she's a monstrous gym leader with a big, bulky, powerful Pokemon in Johto. He's a powerful normal type gym leader with a big Pokemon and he's in Hoenn. And Norman and his family are from Hoenn. I always thought it was kind of a funny idea if it ever was true. It's not. It never will be. But it's kind of I always thought that was a fun little, like, what if this happened? Plus, they want to make your main character in Hoenn related to Whitney, and I always thought that was funny. So, the way Max is gonna work. Who else did I write for him? I also wrote Slackoff. The way Max is gonna work and the way Bonnie's gonna work is they're able to have a Pokemon companion to care for. They can't battle with them, or they can't like officially compete in the Challenger Gym training. But we have seen plenty of Pokemon with speaking of Corsola, or not Corsola, should have a Johto on his team. I've always been in the opinion that Norman will have a half, or like at least some Johtomon, and some Hoenn, or at least one or two. The way it's gonna work. So speaking of the Clamperl episode, we had those kids and they had Clamperl. Like they had Pokemon and they were Pokemon trainers. So I don't understand why Max can't have a Pokemon. He's only gonna have one though. And I think you guys have really convinced me on this Munchlax thing, but I'm gonna put it down to 2 Pokemon. Max has this weird bond where he gets to hang out with Mr. Stone of the Devon Corp in that one episode, and they really get on, and he's the one who gives Max his Pokénav and also letter. I could easily see when they get to Steven, and when I believe Max is cut off and hangs with Steven during that time, too. I could easily see Steven giving Max a Beldum. And I've always kind of enjoyed that idea. I'm not going to go with Ralts because if Wally's there, I don't need Max to have a Ralts. You know, if I give Wally there, he's gonna have a Ralts, and then Ash is eventually gonna get a Ralts. And then I have another trainer who's gonna have a Ralts. Like Ralts is gonna have a plenty rep, so it doesn't really need to have Max there. I've always taken the way it works in the anime is even though they say Max can't have Pokemon and Bonnie can't have Pokemon, that's just because they're main traveling companions. Maybe a shiny Beldum. The star means it's shiny. So the reason why you can't own, like, you can have a Pokemon before you're 10, but you cannot officially train and compete in the gym challenge. Maybe Curl Blitz, maybe. Also, thank you, Jabir. Yeah, no, I hit the 3K mark last night. That was pretty sick. I was teetering. It was teetering there, but I'm really happy. Also, we're sitting at 26 viewers, and on a Friday at 2:49 for me. That's pretty baller. I'm really a fan of this Munchlax idea though. Okay, so here's the real question. How do you guys feel about Exploud with May? I think that's the real question. How do you guys feel about Exploud? Because otherwise, I gotta find an alternate Pokemon than Munchlax. That's the button I just hit. What does Exploud learn in Gen 3? Because if I'm going to do this, I'm going to think about, I got to think about sort of moves it could, how could it do in a contest? You know, what can do? It can learn a lot of, different elemental moves that it could learn. And it could just learn them because, because the anime really doesn't have any like TM rules or something. You know, no one really cares about that crap. Also, it can learn a lot of move tutor moves. So, you know, it can know dynamic punch, like you know, like how what did Munchlax know? May Munchlax. It can learn Solar Beam. Yeah, it can also learn Solar Beam. Like, it can learn, like, Focus Punch. It can learn a punch move. It can learn a Solar Beam. Where's Metronome? It can learn Mimic, too, which is pretty sick. But I think, what's up, King Pokemon 8? I don't think it needs Metronome. I always felt like that was kind of it was a fun gimmick, but it didn't need that. I think Mimic could probably be a good substitute in that regard. It can learn the elemental punches or icy wind. Like, there's ways it can do well in a contest. So yeah, I like that. I'm gonna go. Still wrong document. let me put that there. Because I like it because it all Exploud also fits what I want for May, which is to have a Pokemon that's not traditionally, you wouldn't think is traditionally a contest Pokemon. And her having to deal with a Pokemon early on that like is giving her trouble is good. And this way we also get to keep Munchlax, which is very important. I didn't want to get rid of Munchlax, which is the only reason why I wouldn't do it. Yeah, it's her Mamoswine. It's her thing. Speaking of Mamoswine, well, not yet. First we got to do Brock. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Brock's team can really. We got rid of you. Sudowoodo goes involves. We bring back Croagunk and Blissey. I don't really think there's much to. Really, Brock's pretty simple. He doesn't need. He needs Croagunk, Blissey. Ninetales is still there. Bonsly evolves into Sudowoodo. He's good. He did very well in Sinnoh. I don't think there's anyone I want to add to him. The Shieldon was a fun idea, but that's really I never really gave a crap. It was more of a I need to fill 6 slots and it's a rock type. So, ooh, here's the main girl. Here's the one I did dirty because I went against my own rules and I gave her basically the girl team. Yeah, exactly. Where you have cute Whismur turn into like loud, angry Exploud or Loudred, and it's like, what? My cute Pokemon just turned. I mean, kind of ugly. Let's Pokemon DB this. Yeah, I mean, just there's so much personality on Brock's team. He has Happiny to focus on. He has Croagunk to focus on. Like, he doesn't need new Pokemon. I'm being honest. Like, he's solid. Really, the main Pokemon people who need new teams, I like adjusting teams for, are the girls because they actually do stuff in the story. I need some contenders. Like, I need some contenders to be different. I'm not evolving her Piplup. I'm a big evolution guy, but I think Piplup works well. Here's the thing. The only reason I don't evolve her Piplup into Primplup is we have so much Primplup and Polian rep in Sinnoh that it's like you just don't need it. I'm considering bringing back Mamoswine. I liked the whole Glaceon versus Leafeon dynamic between her and Zoe. I like that a lot. But I want her to have a big guy. I wonder. Okay, so one of the options I'm possibly considering is Gliscor. We're just gonna write down some options here. Nothing official, but we're gonna put down some. The Togekiss was always just so tacked on. You know, I understand if she had it from the beginning, but it was kind of at the last minute. I'm gonna look at her team. I have Dusknoir and Licky Licky, and I think I have Hippowdon on someone else's team. That's the only reason why I don't include them. Abomasnow is a possibility. Abomasnow kind of seems like a Mamoswine adjacent Pokemon. I need a fire type, and I like her Cyndaquil. And it might be Cherum has to go though. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter if she has 2 ice types because it's whatever. Like, I don't really care too hard about that. Abomasnow has grass moves. It can learn. It's primarily a grass type anyways. Like, you know, Razor Leaf, you know, Wood Hammer. The only reason I wouldn't give her a Drapion is because it's one of the main bad guys Pokemon, or like Hunter J Pokemon. Ash might be getting a Lucario, is why I don't give her Riolu. I would love to give her a Garchomp, but I just have so many other people using Garchomp. Dusknoir, I've already have someone else. Ponyta's too feminine. Like, I'm trying to pick I'm trying to pick my Munchlax. I'm trying to pick my Mamoswine. Bronzong's a little too alien. It might just be I have to bring back. Not a lot of great options. Abomasnow? Maybe. How are we feeling on Abomasnow? Yeah, man, I cannot wait to get to Heatran's legendary lore. It's gonna be, oh my god, actually lore. Possibly Curl Blitz, possibly. I'm not in love with a Probopass. Like there's bulky Pokemon and then there's ridiculous Pokemon. I'm gonna put slash Mamoswine. It might just, I mean, sometimes companions just don't. Sometimes they just have good teams, you know. Like who am I replacing? Yeah, I'd just be replacing Togekiss with Glaceon, you know. I don't. Maybe Gliscor. Maybe Glaceon slash Gliscor. I don't know if I'm in love with Glaceon. Just yeah, like go to the list. All right, so none of the starters. No Staraptor, no Bibarel. Kricketune taken. She has an electric type, so no Luxray. Roserade's taken. You're taken. Maybe Bastiodon, but I feel like that's a stretch. None of you guys. No, Ash has you. We're already deciding you. Gastron has too many people. We don't need you. She has Piplup. No. You already have her. Rival has her. Villains have her. Yes, that would evolve into a James Pokemon. Villains have you. Brock has you. Villains have you. Brock has you. No. Rival has you. Max had you. Ash possibly will have you. Someone else has you. Villains have you. Villains and Brock have you. Villains have you. Rival has you. No. That leaves you. Villains have you. Doesn't really fit in my opinion. He also already has an electric type. Someone else has you. Someone else has you. Ash already has you and is going to come back. Rival has you. Or Ash might have you. What's up, Pevin? No. Villains have you. Rival has you. Maybe. Rival has you. Someone else is going to get you eventually. No. Someone else has you. Too feminine. No. Legendary. Yeah, really. There really isn't a lot. Really, it is. I kind of keep Mamoswine, and maybe I insert a Gliscor if I can come up with a cool enough story for it. And you know what? We're gonna throw the Bastiodon on there. Just look, we're just gonna see. Wait, do I have? I think I already have someone else with Bastiodon. Rivals. I need protagonist teams. Did I give Lucas / Dia a Bastiodon? I think I did. He has Bastiodon. So nope, that Bastion's off the list. Well, bam. So Dawn's going to be very tentative up in the air. The only reason I would give her an Abomasnow is I'm not going to give Brock a Malcombi. I don't see the point of it. Also, Jessie has Vesequin, so the only reason I would evolve it into Abomasnow is to recreate the effect that Mamoswine has, and also to give her a big, bulky brawler. The point is that it doesn't really look like it should be a contest Pokemon. That's kind of what I'm trying to encapsulate. The only Pokemon trainer I could see being I have Ash, have Rampardos, so that's why I don't do that. Okay, let's go to you guys. Iris. Greeting. All right, so I've heard people mention give her Embor. Or at least Ash's Tepig. Iris looks good. I'm the only real thing I'd consider is maybe adding the Tepig Embor, but I'm not entirely in love with it. I don't really think Iris need. Here's the thing, because the back half, I don't know how I'm gonna do Unova. I have to watch all the anime before I write it, because I gotta kind of get a sense of what they were doing and what plot points I could keep and what I gotta get rid of. Like, it's sort of like how in Kanto, I'm keeping Ash versus Surge. That's gonna be a major plot point because that's very important. But really, her team is gonna be these three: Druddigon, Hydreigon, Fractured. That's gonna be her team. That's going to be her team. Like, for the most of Unova. Like, the back little half, she's going to get Archon, Lairon, and Gible. But, like, she gets, like, Gible, like, at the end. So it's not really like she has a full team of 6. Also, she's going to be a champion. So her having more Pokemon doesn't really matter too hard. Well, here's the thing, Upago. The reason I give her Hydreigon is because it's just Dragonite, but better for her. It's she's all, like, it was like, oh, we're going to give her an asshole Dragonite. It's like, well, it's like out of control and angry and mean. It's like, well, that's just Hydreigon, but you just coded it as Dragonite, you know? Archon and Lairon are directly taken from her champion team. Like, that's where I got most of the inspiration for this. Is she has the Aggron, she has the Archeops. Like, it's basically this. And then I gave her, rather than Lapras, which I had initially given to Misty in my video, and I gave to Lana as a ride Pokemon. I understand why we have extra drill because of the Japanese pun, but it doesn't. I mean, I'm American. I'm creating this from the American mindset. The pun doesn't work in American. Which is kind of the audience. I guess you could say I'm doing that, or English, I guess. Like, the pun just doesn't work without their, so like, it's like, I understand why they did it, but I'm like, I don't need it. It also doesn't learn any dragon moves. Or it's not even dragon-like. So it's a pun Pokemon, I get it, but I feel like Druddigon is a much better substitute for it. I like it in Extrail's place, especially because I can imagine that rather than being in the drill form when Irish brings it out, it's in a stone statue form, like it rocks up like a gargoyle, like, and is unmoving. So it's just, I would if I included Excadrill, then I got to get rid of Druddigon, or Druddigon, just doesn't do anything. The real quick, like, and yeah, and I gave her the shiny Gibble because of the thing. A shiny Druddigan, Claire gets it. It's gonna be normal because it's gonna be the Pokemon she gets. I'm giving her shiny Gibble from the one you win in that tower thing. I'm just gonna check something real fast. No dragon moves. Hell yeah, anime lover. Always love to hear that. I think honestly, I think Iris is good. She's gonna really. It's really because here's the thing: the back half doesn't matter too hard. I might change that later, but it really doesn't matter because throughout the main series, she's just gonna have these three, and that's all it's gonna be. For knockoff Brock. Well, actually, here's the thing. There's one Pokemon I possibly consider giving her. And actually, I think her team fits. Funny enough, Blitz, the Archon and Ash's Caracosta thing was just a happy accident. I really gave her the Archon because it was on her team in the game. Like I'm not like giving her maybe like an ancient Pokemon to represent. She's like the she and Cilan are kind of set up as opposites where she believes in ghosts, Cilan doesn't. I think that's a thing. Like Cilan's really into aliens, Iris isn't. Like he's set up more futuristic, she's set up more past. Maybe I think her dragons really cover all that. So she doesn't need that. I like the idea of giving him Cilan Pansage, catching a Levani because it's still a grass type, and then he gets an Elgium because of his love of aliens and science and all that. And he likes fishing, so electric, you know. I could do that, Jabir. I could give him Tepig like Zaktoshi did, but you know, Zaktoshi did it. So it's like if you want the story with Tepig being there, you know, we got that. Like I'm not in love with Tepig as a Pokemon, like as in general. I like Emboar. I don't really care for Tepig or whatever Pignite. Yeah, Cilan was logic, Iris for mysticism. So I kind of like I wonder it might include one or two Pokemon, like a Pokemon for Iris that kind of fits that. Like maybe a ghost type, maybe a goth. Well, no, someone else has a Gothorita. Something to help with that. You know, maybe it's Lampent or something. You know, because they're right next to each other in the Pokedex. But I thought initially possibly a Golurk, but you know. Is it weird what I did that? I don't know what you did. Yeah, probably. I mean, I think the LGM pick and I think the electric pick are fine. You know, I like giving gym leaders monotype teams, but like, if I'm being honest, I don't care about Cilan enough to really like, you know, care too hard. Like, the only other Pokemon I see is giving him a Pharaoh Seed or something, you know, as an additional grass type, but he doesn't really need a big team. I might even just only give him the LGM and not the electric. Did I write Sinnoh for this? Yeah. I gave Misty Toad and Ash Mantine. Hey, you know, those aren't bad choices. Tivlaren works for Iris. Throw that down. A Pokemon that helps him cook. You know, it's a fine idea, guys, but it's also one I think I've seen YouTubers do before. So it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, but he doesn't really need one. You know, he has burners. He doesn't need anyone to help him cook. So it's like, you know, it's a fun idea, but I feel like we're only suggesting it because we saw it in Zach Toshi's video about the Tepig thing. Like, it's not like it's a necessary thing that needs to happen. Which again, it's like the reason why, like, I don't like including too much stuff I've seen from other YouTubers. Like, the one thing I included was Pangoro, or I probably included like a handful of things, but I like the Pangoro from Zach Toshi's video as her body, as a champion of Kalos's bodyguard, because I really couldn't figure out another Pokemon that fit better than Pangoro, which is why I did that. Or even a Golett. Golett might be a little less, you know, might be a little less whatever. Did I spell Golett right? 2 T's, not 2 L's. Here's the big one, guys. Here's the fun one. Oh, wow, we might even be able to start doing rivals today, depending on how we get through this. Serena. Are we doing the main companions rivals next? I'm gonna save that for the video, for the main video when I do the story. We'll see teams there. Or if I do so the plan currently is I have one more video lined up on on like a certain group of trainers teams that will take place in the anime Teams Redone, or the Ash Teams Redone verse. From there, I will do a video which is just a grab bag of trainers that have been requested that I could do some interesting teams for, you know, like Drew would be a part of that. I don't think I'll do a full contest rivals team. Maybe I'll do a contest rivals team. We'll see. It depends on how many things I want to do. Will I do villains? No, because I don't, you know, see, the problem with that Blitz is I semi agree, but also like who's Astrid and who cares about Astrid? Like, you know, like she's, you know, like, yeah, she's there, but you know, it's like the fact that you said Astrid and I went, who? In my head, like I think that's a good sign. I'm probably not going to do a villains video because I haven't written the story yet if I include certain villains or not. Or if they, like, it's like, is Giovanni going to be a mainstay in the story or not? Not saying either or. But if there are villain teams, you will find them out in the story itself. But we'll see, because I feel like if I do villains, it might spoil too much of the story. Possibly. I'm going to debate on that. So for Serena, I really kind of just like the team I gave her here. I think the Meowstic female's good because I like its dynamic with the Meowstic male, so I kind of have that Ash connection there. Pancham's not a typical Pokemon you'd see, so that kind of fits that. I like to give her a Mega and Mega Absols from the Serena in the games. Y Adventures. What was her team looking like? I know they really kind of... What was her Mega? She has Sylveon, she has Greninja, she has Rhyhorn, and she also has Mega Absol. Like, I think it's I like the Absol because I can connect it to the, I can connect it to Floette, Eternal Flower, because it's, like I said in the video, it would appear, it would appear because it can sense all the impending danger surrounding Floette, and then it would be there to try and protect it. I'm not changing the Univalor there. So, but we'll do, I'm going to pull this over here so you guys don't see all my notes. Legendary lore. So, what is this? Notes. So, current plan for legendary lore, for all the fans of that video, the legendaries I plan to do are, I did legendary birds, I did Entei and Raikou, Latios and Latios are next. Cresselia is going to be doing, I'm just going to have a video, and by proxy, Darkrai will also have a video with it. I think I'm gonna mash those two together. Heatran gets its own video. The Swords of Justice, Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion have a video. Zacian and Zamazenta have a video. Urshifu and his Kubfu have a video. The Galarian birds, I might have a short one for Calyrex, Glastrier, and Spectre, and maybe Ogerpon. And the only people that are getting cut, or the only Pokemon that are getting cut from being legendaries, is which I'll do videos that they aren't legendary, are Typhlosion, Savali, Koraidon and Miraidon, and then Okidogi, Monkey and Pheasantipity, which none of those should be legendary. I don't know why they are. Why not have Rhyhorn instead of Pancham, since Praxia and Pancham and Sylveon were already in Team Man anyway? I'll write it down as an option. It might be a little too stiff for the kind of, like, I can't remember the way Serena's bad contests go. I was never a fan of them. I was just like, contests in themselves were already awesome. I think, like, they had cool visuals in Serena stuff because it was X and Y, but I think contests are better than whatever she was doing, her whatever key bullshit, you know. I can't remember even the names of it. I barely paid attention to it. But from what I remember, Rhyhorn might be a little too stiff for it. You know, I'll write it down for consideration. Clemont. You three go, you go. Well, actually, hold up. So Manectric's gonna be there instead of Luxray, and it is Mega Manectric. I won't say either or in Meowth games. I don't want to spoil anything. Magneton, you're gonna be at the gym. Raichu, you were just there for filler. What is Clement? I mean, I know he carries Diggersby, or he carries the Bunnelby. Which evolved into Diggersby, huh? Which Bunnelby fits in the sense that it learns Wild Charge, so it at least knows an electric move, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, the performances are really not it. They just, you know, they just feel like, I don't know. They just feel lackluster in comparison to what contests were. How do you guys feel about Bunnelby on Clemont? Like, maybe Alakazam. Kling Clang. Back to Pokemon DB. I just want to take a look at all the, because the reason so I want to give his main first Pokemon you see. I'm ruining Chespin. I don't really need Chespin. I'm gonna give Chespin or Chestnut to actually here's what I'll do. This is so much easier. I have nothing against Bunnelby either way, by the way. Just I really don't like, I don't have any opinion on whether it should stay or not. I think the reason you could keep it is because it's an early route Pokemon that he can have, and it's like I ideally in my brain, Heolisk rejoins him after the gym episode because it just needs more love. But I could easily, sure, I could give him Flaffy, but I think really the first Pokemon you see of him should be a Kalos Pokemon, because these guys are meant to show off Kalos Pokemon, which is why their teams are mostly doing that. Bunnelby. I'm a B. If Bonnie stays, teach him bounce since it's paralysis. Yep, that's a good one. Yeah. All right. I'm seeing I'm seeing a lot of love. We're gonna keep Bunnelby. I don't see anything wrong with Bunnelby. I think Bunnelby was pretty chill from what I remember. I did not watch too much of X and Y, if I'm being honest. Like after Sinnoh, my knowledge falls off a lot, mostly because I blocked out a lot of Unova, and I didn't really get too back into the anime. But I've seen scenes and all that, and I know I have knowledge of it. But yeah, Bunnelby was inoffensive. He doesn't do much. He works for his role. How do you guys feel about the Flaffy pick? I'm just gonna end that just because it's very so obvious. There's no way that's making a comeback. Actually, I love just being able to start polls. Yay, Flaffy. No, Flaffy. So I'll explain my reasoning. The reason I have a Flaffy for him is because his dad has an Ampharos. So that's kind of the reason I have it. So it kind of replaces Chespin in this regard, where he just has a Flaffy with him. Why did I click Magikarp? Why is Magikarp pulled up there? I don't know. Sort of just acts as another Pokemon for him, and it's electric type, and it can help him with his stuff. I just talked about with Clemont or Cilan how it's just like he doesn't need a Pokemon to help with his stuff, and now I'm like, oh well, Flappy can help with his stuff. I'm a very big hypocrite if you don't know me. Yeah. It seems like the yays are having it. You know, with some polls, it's like, oh, wait till everyone. I'm like, look, if we have a 79% 21 spread, unless 15 million people come in and, you know, bounce that back, no one's doing that. And Bonnie will having Dedenne and Marie, and no, I will not take any notes. Ugh, I'm making lunch after this. I'm gonna have a nice burger and a Coke. Also, hopefully the next time I stream, I have membership stuff set up. Not that I'm like, hey, do membership stuff. The only reason I just do it just for the sake of having it, so I can have emotes. But I'm not like, it's not like I'm like, oh, I need it. It's like I was like, oh, emotes are pretty cool, and I can make some emotes. Also, Squishy's there. I'll write Squishy down just because it's a part of the team. Squishy is always there, by the way. I'm not gonna give her a Mareep. I like the idea of her having one, but I did create the rule with Max and her that maybe Max can also have 2 Pokemon. Do you guys feel like that's too much? Like, is 2 Pokemon for these guys too much? You know, I'm willing to make the exception for Bonnie, but I don't know about Max. Honestly, I rather like Max with 1 Pokemon. He's too annoying to have 2 Pokemon. Tyrantrum acting as a bodyguard for Bonnie is killer in my mind. I love that. And Squishy doesn't count. Squishy's like, it's one of her Pokemon, yes, but like, it's not, she doesn't catch it in a Pokeball, and it's not like registered to her. It's a traveling companion, you know? 2 is fine. I think 2 is good. Probably depends on the writing. Okay, I see. I'll do that. And I'm not going to make actually Max's Beldum shiny, because I'm going to make Steven's Metagross shiny so it matches with everything else. But either or. It gives them something to do. Bonnie should have kept Tyrantrum. I know that for a fact. We're on to Aloha to the Alola. I'm just gonna do this. And just get rid of my notes here. Now, with a lot of these guys, I was looking, I had to cut it down. Yeah, I mean, Max is still gonna be Max, but I'm also just gonna make him less annoying because he's gonna have something to do. But there's only really so much I can do for Max without radically changing his personality. Here's the changes with Alola, by the way, is we're just cutting down on their teams. Magmar doesn't need to be there. She doesn't need Chinchou. I don't need Shiinotic, and I don't need Phantom. I'm gonna give her the god that is Rowlet. Togedemaru and Alolan Geodude. I like that. That's good. He doesn't really... Honestly, I could even say no changes for Sophocles. Rather than Clefairy, Rabombi, Alolan Sandshrew, Alolan Ninetales. Might be a little bit too many Pokemon for everybody. I could even see just Alolan Ninetales and Alolan Sandshrew for Lily, but, you know. It is what it is. Actually, what if it was Alolan Vulpix and then Alolan Sandslash? I might like that more, if I'm being honest. It keeps her Vulpix nice and cute, and then kind of gives her the big, bulkier protector Sandslash. Because I feel like if we revisit Lily and the gang in Journeys, her having an Alolan Ninetales then would be pretty sick. But if Vulpix in the main, because it shows her growth. Damn it, Luna. Dog. I'm not gonna give anyone else an Ultra Beast. I think this works. Yeah, I'm gonna cut Rabombi. It feels like a very tacked on one. But the Alolan squad, I think their teams are perfect the way they are, minus a few, like getting rid of Shaman, because I don't know, it just doesn't do anything. And all these Waterium Z, Premium Z, like this stuff is subject to change. Because I know I'm not giving Ash Rowlet back, so the God Rowlet will still be in the series. Torracat's gonna be. We don't know if Ash is gonna use Incineroar yet. You know, I'm leaning towards no, but possibly. I don't know. We're gonna see. Go. So. I do not like Go at all. And really, I made him a team because I kind of had to. For now, I think this is going to be Go's team. His team is really, like... I think there's better trainers I could make Ash's traveling companions than Go. You know? So, Journeys is going to undergo a massive rewrite in this Tales of Journeys, because Journeys was there. You know, so, like, Go's status as a main character is very nebulous right now. Because I don't see his significance to the plot, really. Because the end of Journeys is, like, more... Like, I want to focus more on Ash and his journey and his training and him learning more than Go. Because I feel like I could replace Go with... Like, I could replace him with, friggin', Victor or Gloria, you know. I think Gloria would make a much better traveling companion than Go, and you could do Hop as well. You know, I think I would much rather see Ash traveling with Hop than I would Go. But that's all undecided, guys. Like, that is not a like yay or nay, or like, you know, I'm officially gonna do it or not. But like we're gonna see how. I don't know. I don't want to rewatch all of Journeys for it. So but I'm gonna have to at some point. So we're gonna see what the stories look. Because here's the thing: Journeys is the end, maybe. So we don't know. I don't know exactly how Ash's story will look like by the time we get to Journeys. So do it, Meowth Game Snowballs. Here's the Journeys is so far away, it's very hard for me to say what the story will be. You know, like, it's like Alola is relatively going to be the same with minor changes of Ash's motivation. A lot of these are going to be different, but just Ash learning different lessons and stuff along those lines. Chloe's gone. Who cares about Chloe? I got comments about, where's Chloe? I forgot Chloe even existed until I was in the editing process, and then I realized, I was just like, who cares? Like, she was just a time waster in the anime. I'm sorry if you like Chloe. I could care less. She offers nothing in personality that none of the Poké Girls before her didn't do 100 times better. You know? She felt like Diet Serena in a weird way. Like, it's like, you know, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I've watched all of Journeys and enjoyed it all. Like, I didn't even watch all of Journeys. I watched parts of it, and just, you know, every time I saw Chloe, I just, you know, her entire arc in that series was a time waster, if I remember correctly. How far have we been going? How long? Yeah, Chloe just didn't appear enough for me to care. She didn't really have anything to do. You know, she just, like, it's like, look, oh, she's doing the exact same thing Serena's doing. Oh, look, no, wait, when, I forget when this is. Alternate world, Chloe. All right, I'm gonna make fun of that. And, like, all the ways her Eevee could have evolved, and, you know, it just doesn't evolve. It doesn't even try Gigamax. Gary, first rival, can make fine goes ED. Oh, that might be interesting. I'll blame both. I'll blame the characters and the writers, because the character is the way the writers is. That peak is in a valley in the center of the Marianas Trench, Meowth games. She's the peak pebble in the Marianas Trench. What did Eevee even learn? Yeah, look at that copycat. Fucking thief, am I right, guys? Just, yo, she definitely copied my OC Do Not Steal. Honestly, Dawn could have come back as the third companion and have no villain, and she'd still be more interesting, Chloe. I love Dawn. She is my favorite companion of all time. I think she was the best. Iris had potential to be the best, but early Unova kind of screwed her. Iris had great moments. I really like her. The writing things. Go and Chloe would be much more interesting as Ash's fine analogs of Victor, Jay's, and Claire. Yeah, you know. I feel like I just don't know what Journeys I'm gonna write. I don't know what I'm gonna make Journeys. So, like, maybe I make Journeys like Galar or something. Like, maybe, like, it's Ash traveling around and going around and challenging. I don't know. I don't know. Like, Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. But I'll figure that out when I don't have to think about that. I have to get through Kanto first. That's all I need to focus on is Kanto. May is the best. I mean, I could accept that, you know, like I think May and Dawn are pretty up there. I've never cared too hard for Serena. Serena's not bad. You know, Serena is definitely not a bad trainer. Iris would be one of the best, but she's bogged down by the Unova writing. That's the black and white writing. Gatomon, Sunny. No, I'd accept that Team Nocturnal Donut. That's fitting for her because that's not canon. Just like I'm just like I'm gonna make Chloe. Oh, bam. Yeah, May. You know what's funny about May? I never realized. Looking back and watching a lot of anime. Her weird food obsession. Her like weird like food thing she has going on where she just trades all these crazy foods. It's happened a lot, you know. It happened a lot, but I'm not giving her a Team Meowth games. She's not even going to be in my show. She's not. I'm just going to be fully honest with you. I could care less about her. She has no place. I will not even do her the credit of giving her a proper team. I'm sorry for all the Chloe lovers out there. I just can't stand her. She's not Charizard levels in my brain, but no one will surpass Charizard in my pettiness. I like Iris more than Misty. While Iris was mean, she was never mean to her Pokemon. Misty was downright cruel. You know, hi from Aurora. Hi from Italy. What's up? What's up, Italy? Personally, I like Iris more than Misty because Iris was mean. She was never mean to her Pokemon. While Misty was downright cruel. I think it's sort of a Misty was cruel in a like. We look back on it in a 2024 sense. Like, she's slapstick mean. She's not like, it's very easy to look at slapstick, you know, and be like, you know, she's beating on her Pokemon. Like, if she slapped Psyduck upside the head, it's like, oh, she's abusing him. It's like, no, it's to emphasize a joke, you know. It's not actually like they've done it in anime plenty of times where it's like the punch to do that, you know. Misty could have her issues, but like, you know, I don't think she hated her Pokemon. She very much cared for her team. I know this is Journeys, but where is it? There's a pic of her. Yeah, look at this girl. Look at her. She's adorable. Look at Psyduck. Oh, it's almost a shame I'm giving them to Ash, man. I do like the Misty Psyduck. Personally, like, I agree. Yeah. Add Gloria from the games to have Chloe. Make sure to include heavy. Where is it? Hold on. Oh, wait. You guys can't hear this because it's so low. Hold on. I'm adjusting.
It's Tuesday and it's... Yeah, I'll chew your arms up, you duff coin.
Yeah. All that for a 5-second joke. Go back to my OBS and... I don't know if anyone heard that. I don't know if OBS is picking up the music in the background, but whatever. I would love to add Scottish Gloria. I just don't know how. Like, it might be a thing. Like, I'm not gonna say it won't. Like, I just think I think Scottish Gloria would be like really funny, you know, and like I think it'd be like including Hilda in Black and White. Honestly, Curl Blitz, you won't be wrong. Gary and Green traveling around with Ash in Journeys would be pretty tight. I would need to figure out stuff for them to do, but that's not a bad idea. Yeah, Scottish Gloria is peak, and I would love to include that. I don't know if I will or not. But if I do, I mean, if she's not a traveling companion, if I decide not to make her a traveling companion, I definitely will make her appear Scottish in one part. Like, I feel like it's just, it's funny. It's for the thing, you know. It's when did Sword and Shield come out? 2019. You were 15 during that? I'm old. So old. All you youngins out here playing Pokemon. I'm just a 26-year-old man. I say I'm old. I'm 26. I'm not old. I feel old. My body feels old. It hurts like it's old. But that's just because I work out a lot. It's Misty and Brock's rivals. Interesting than Crown Tundra arc. So my current thought on Journeys is possibly maybe Ash is training in Galar. Like going around and fighting people in Galar, but I like that's the Galar storyline, but like I don't give him enough Galar. He has a few Galar Pokemon, but I also need him to go to Mount Silver to do that. So I need him to go to Mount Silver to get Tyranitar, and he needs to go to Unova to get the thing. So the traveling around the different continent or the different regions is important to the story. So I have to figure out a through line for that. Maybe like the challenging people is good, but like I feel like if for the like getting his league points and all that is great, but I worry about keeping track of that and keeping track of that system. When I asked Gen 8 stars, I watched Direct on the laptop kid in front of me in class. Hell yeah. I was in college when Gen 6 came out. I downloaded it on my 3DS the night it came out. I think that's all the companions down for now. See, this is why I like doing these streams, by the way, because I was just gonna keep Misty or May's team, and like I knew I needed to fix May's team, and I didn't need to fix May's team, but now we have her with an Exploud, which is really unique, and not just Munchlax again, who we gave to Max, so it gives him something to do. And then like we figured out some good options for Dawn. You know, she's gonna require some tooling, but I don't need to worry about Sinnoh for now. But everything else pretty similar. It was really kind of a lot of this was not I was not trying to go around and add new Pokemon to these rivals. It is more about just refining the list I gave them to a T for what their proper anime teams would be like. You can do what Zeno didn't have, says like being Galar, so instead of being Kanto and going to it'll be the other way around. Possibly. I'm not gonna watch too many people's videos when it comes to what to do for journeys, because I think I gotta come up with my own thing. I don't want to get influenced too much, but it is not a bad idea. I think for now we're nearly 2 hours in. Jensen came out and they announced I'm in college. Congrats on being in college. ZA is gonna be so I clicked on the wrong thing. ZA is gonna be so fun. I can't wait to see more megas. But I think for now is we're gonna wrap up stream. We're nearly 2 hours in, and I think maybe tomorrow I'll stream again, and we'll go over rivals, or we'll go over Team Rocket or something. I don't think I need to do Team Rocket. I think Team Rocket's pretty refined. But we'll just kind of go over the past lists and refine them for the story, see what we come up with. Like, it's like the Exploud idea was pretty tight, and we came up with that here. But for now, I hope you guys had a good time. I always enjoy these little streams. I'll I'll probably be back. I'll probably be back tomorrow, and if not, maybe Sunday, Monday. We never know. I'll be back when I'm back, probably around this usual time or later today. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. It's a good stream, and I'll see you all later.